KSMQ Television in Austin, this is On Cue, connecting interesting issues and interesting people. On Cue.
Craig Clark is the city administrator for the city of Austin and has been since December of 2014. Joins me today to share some of the latest news around the community. Welcome, Craig.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yep, first time on our show.
Yeah.
Almost a year in Austin,
Great.
just about. How do you find conditions in the community?
It's great. I've been warmly received in the community, and it's been a great time. Transitioned the family over and got kids in school, and that went well, and so we're enjoying it quite a bit.
From Iowa originally, by way of most recently Worthington.
That's right.
3 children, and I have just a personal little story. I saw you, I don't know if you remember, at the Nature Center for an evening hike. They invite people there once in a while. They have public events you can go to. And Larry Dolphin, who's been on our program many times, of course, is the manager out there. And at the end of the whole proceeding in the evening, he just said, I want everybody to know that Craig Clark is our city administrator. It's the first time anybody who's been an administrator has been at one of my talks.
Well, yeah, I mean, what a great asset for the community and be able to be involved in that. And part of this job is getting fully jumped in with both legs, and so I've done that and enjoying it quite a bit.
Plus, you sat out in a field in the dark with a bunch
looking
of
for a
us out
woodcock.
there.
Yeah, that was quite a fun time. My son and I enjoyed that.
Role of the city administrator in a nutshell.
Well, really, sometimes I kid and tell folks I'm a firefighter because I put out fires, but really as a practical matter, the chief administrative officer for the city, help coordinate with the city council and department heads, carry out the wishes of the city council, and then handle day-to-day administration of the city.
And getting to learn about the issues in our region, one of the biggies that I know you've been involved in is housing.
Right.
The lack of affordable housing for a lot of the folks from our big employers. Hormel, they come here, the clinic, they come here.
Right.
And the goal is to have housing that they can move into. This past legislative session, you have some background also in the in state government.
Yes.
Senator Sparks sponsored some legislation to try to help, and it seemed like you have everybody on board and then it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Well, I guess just initially housing is a critical issue for our employers in the community, trying to find housing. There's many stories of folks coming into the community and having trouble finding housing, certainly rental housing, probably more so than even the single family homes availability, but really what we're seeing is just a breakdown of the market, the housing market, in order to be able to provide the supply necessary for folks. So based on that, we tried to put forward some legislation. The senator helped us quite a bit in advancing that, and unfortunately at the end of the session, when you kind of go left or right, it ended up going the wrong way for us, and only got a modest proposal through to make some changes, but we'll build on that and hopefully come back next session.
Mm-hmm. And the reason the state would be involved?
Well, really, like I said, the housing market is broken. You tend to think, well, geez, if there's the need for it there, why isn't it coming about? Well, the available rents and the cost of construction, when a developer is looking to develop in a community, they have a fixed cost for that development, whether they place it here or in Rochester or the Twin Cities. When they have a fixed cost of that building, they're putting it where there's a higher rent availability and there's more people to fill the units. So it's a risk-reward type deal, and they're putting their money and investment in a larger metropolitan area than in greater Minnesota, where we have this particular vexing problem for our communities to grow our population, but also our job base and our businesses.
Because as someone who doesn't know the issue, I just would figure it might be less cost in a rural area to build, but it's a fixed.
Yeah, probably cost of construction is going to be relatively the same. You might have some advantages of lower cost labor, but generally your shingles and your 2x4s and those types of things are going to be the same no matter where you're at.
So maybe next session get a little more.
Right, it's really just trying to bridge that gap of the cost of construction and making the rents affordable so people can afford the rents and the developer can have a reasonable profit and the projects can go forward. We really haven't seen a project in 30, 40 years in the community, and that's a common occurrence in a lot of rural communities across the state.
Have you been spending more time than you would have thought on this issue or that? What's taking up a lot of your time?
Oh boy, well, it's an exciting time to be in Austin. That's one of the reasons I decided to come here with the projects, working with Vision 2020 and the like, and just regular community projects, double the size of where I was before. So it's an exciting time with all those things coming together. So whether it's the rec center and working on that, or other projects, you know, the less glamorous projects still move forward as a community. So just involving all those things. I suppose I hope to have brought a little bit more focus on some of the legislative things moving forward and being involved. You know, our state government can't be responsive to our needs if we're not there asking for some help to bridge those areas to help communities like Austin. So done a lot of work on that, but yes, generally as far as the workload demand, there's always a new issue every day, so it's a great time to be here in Austin.
And plenty of maybe being the mediator, is that your role? Like,
Yeah.
or a sounding board between the public or groups and then the people who have to write the law or enforce a code or city council, that kind of stuff?
A little bit of all that, yep. That's whether coordinating or facilitating or trying to problem solve. I mean, each issue is a little bit different, but it kind of gets squared in the context of what our policymakers have instructed us to do and carry forward. So,
And one thing that you see the city council meetings on television, if you can, but a lot of things that go on in a city you don't really know about
Right.
that much. And you have an idea afoot to start a video blog. Talk a little about that.
Yeah, one of the council goals that they established was to be a little bit more a digitally inclusive community and reaching out in different mediums for our constituents. You know, a lot of times constituents don't have the time to watch a city council meeting for its duration, so what we've tried to do is a video blog where I'll kind of recap the city council meeting in hopefully a 5-minute time span, just to hit the highlights and those sorts of things, so those that are busy but still interested, we can kind of give them some heads up of what's going on in the community. We'll also have department heads talk about various topics that are of particular interest, or we want to try to communicate a little bit better with the constituents and just reach out in that regard.
Oh, that's a great idea. Is it something on the city webpage?
Right.
Or how would somebody
it'll
see
be
it?
based on our city webpage, but that'll redirect you to a YouTube video, and you can also get there via our Facebook page.
Okay. And so you have a little opportunity to maybe give a little feedback too if you're a
Sure.
citizen.
Absolutely.
Do you take a lot of phone calls just from the general public? Or?
Yeah, I think we do. I mean, we can't do a good job if we don't understand what the issues and concerns are for people, so we always welcome their contact with us, and hopefully we can answer their question. We can't always guarantee them that they'll like the outcome or the answer, but we owe them the responsibility to give them a timely response and answer their question as best we can.
Or the city council member for their ward? I mean, are there different, if you have this kind of question, you should call a city person, or you should call your city council person?
Yeah, really, we don't want there to be any barriers for our constituents to reach out, if they feel most comfortable contacting the mayor or city council member, certainly that's great. Those are the folks they've seen at their doorstep at election time and that sort of thing. So if that's where they're comfortable, certainly that's a way that they can access the city or call the administrative office directly. Either way, whichever works for them, email. We've got a lot of different ways that they can contact us, so encourage their involvement whichever way they like.
So you probably have big files on your desk, one of each for, let's see, New Spam Museum, Turtle Creek 2, business recruitment, development, quite a lot going on.
Well, there are, and really it's a teamwork effort. We really rely on department heads and all our staff members in the community to help get the product, I guess, that we're looking for. So it's a real teamwork effort, and I've been blessed to be able to come into an environment where department heads and city employees are committed to serving the public.
Do you hear any in those department head meetings? There's been quite a bit of noise in the media about thefts this summer. Seems like it's more than usual, or is it not?
You know, sometimes we get distracted a little bit, not to minimize those unfortunate times and those occasions. In a larger city, I think, you know, a lot of those things happen and nobody knows anything about it. But generally, you know, we try to address those on a case-by-case basis, but I think the bottom line that we need to focus on is that we have a safe, clean community, and we should be proud of.
Wonderful. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
And come back again anytime.
Absolutely,
When you
will
have
do. Look
new
forward to seeing you.
initiatives or just want an update. Craig Clark, Austin City Administrator.
For more information about the great city of Austin, Minnesota, just go to ci.austin.mn.us.
On Cue is a production of KSMQ Television in Austin, nonprofit public television.